From the moment a baby enters the world, they begin a silent conversation with those around them. It's a language without words, a rhythm of tiny gestures, subtle expressions, and unexpected sounds. Every parent, every caregiver has felt the awe and the challenge of trying to understand this silent world. You watch a small hand reach out, a furrowed brow appear, or a sudden squirm, and you wonder, what is my baby trying to tell me? Behind every coo, every cry, and every glance, there's a message. And if we learn to read these messages, we can respond with empathy, care, and understanding, building bonds that last a lifetime. But babies don't hand us an instruction manual. Their needs are urgent, immediate, and sometimes mysterious. And yet they leave clues, tiny, secret cues that speak louder than words ever could. Some are so subtle you might miss them entirely if you don't know what to look for. Others are striking, impossible to ignore, and they tug at your heart the moment they appear. Today, we're going to journey into this hidden language, exploring 10 ways babies tell us what they need long before they can speak. The first clue often shows up when you least expect it. You might notice your baby shifting in your arms, squirming gently, or arching their tiny back. This movement isn't random. Babies often use their bodies to signal discomfort, overstimulation, or even a need for a simple adjustment in their environment. Some experts suggest that these movements are a form of nonverbal communication, a way to express a need that words simply cannot yet convey. Pay attention to the rhythm of the movement. A repeated kick or a wriggle often signals a need that hasn't been met yet. Perhaps it's hunger, or maybe it's a desire for a change in position, something as simple as needing a burp or a softer surface. Over time, parents begin to recognize the subtle differences between a squirm that says, "I'm restless," and one that says, "I'm uncomfortable." The more you observe, the more you can decode these small but powerful signals. Then there's the cry, but not all cries are created equal. A baby's cry is a complex, multifaceted signal. Some are sharp and urgent, others soft and tentative. Some experts propose that infants have a basic cry language, an instinctive way of indicating hunger, pain, or fatigue. A hungry cry might start as rhythmic and repetitive, a pattern almost like a plea. A cry from frustration or discomfort often rises in pitch, sometimes accompanied by fussing or arching of the back. But it's not just the sound, it's the combination of sound and body language that conveys the full message. The position of the hands, the movement of the legs, the expression in the eyes, all of these cues work together to form a complete picture of the baby's needs. Learning to interpret this symphony of signals can transform parenting from reactive to responsive, allowing caregivers to anticipate needs before they escalate into distress. Eye contact is another profound and often overlooked signal. When a baby locks eyes with you, there's more happening than meets the eye. Eye contact can indicate curiosity, interest, or a desire for interaction, but subtle differences can hint at other needs as well. A fleeting glance away might signal overstimulation or the need for a break. Wide, focused eyes can reveal alertness, fascination, or even hunger. Some researchers suggest that infants are hardwired to communicate through gaze, using it as a bridge between their inner world and ours. When your baby searches for your eyes, they are reaching out for reassurance, connection, and understanding. Responding with calm attentiveness doesn't just meet an immediate need, it also helps to nurture emotional development and trust, forming the foundation for secure attachment that lasts a lifetime. By now, you might be realizing just how rich this secret language is. But even as we decode movements, cries, and gazes, there are cues that are quieter still, hidden in plain sight. One of the most fascinating is the subtle shift in facial expression. A tiny grimace, a brief furrowed brow, or the way a baby purses their lips can indicate a need long before a cry emerges. These micro-expressions are often instinctive, a direct reflection of discomfort, curiosity, or the need for attention. Parents who learn to recognize these fleeting signs often find themselves responding more effectively, calming their baby quickly and preventing unnecessary fussing. The key is to observe without judgment, noticing patterns, and trusting your instincts. Over time, you'll start to recognize the difference between a momentary expression of curiosity and a real need. Another clue comes through vocal experimentation. Babies make sounds beyond crying, cooing, gurgling, humming, and even low growls. These noises may seem random, but they often carry meaning. A coo can indicate contentment or a desire for social interaction, while fussing sounds might signal minor discomfort or boredom. By paying attention to these sounds and how they change in different contexts, caregivers can start to understand what a baby wants before the more urgent signals like crying take over. The magic here is subtlety. A soft coo while reaching for a parent may be a request for attention, whereas a low grumble while lying in a crib may indicate discomfort. Responding appropriately strengthens the infant's trust and helps build early communication skills, showing that their signals are noticed, respected, and acted upon. Movement of the hands is another telling signal. Babies often reach, grab, or even bat at objects to communicate. These gestures may indicate curiosity, a desire for comfort, or even hunger if the hands move towards the mouth. Observing these small motions can reveal a lot about what your baby needs. Sometimes a gentle touch or the offering of a familiar object can provide reassurance, while other times simply engaging with the baby's hands in play can satisfy the desire for interaction. The more attuned a caregiver becomes, the more effortless it is to interpret these environmental cues and respond proactively. Digestive discomfort is another area where babies communicate silently. Gurgling noises, arching of the back, pulling knees toward the chest, or fussiness after feeding can indicate that the baby's tummy is upset or that they need a burp. Parents often learn to distinguish between ordinary fussing and signals of digestive discomfort over time. Recognizing these cues early allows for gentle interventions that can relieve discomfort and promote better digestion, while also reducing stress for both baby and caregiver. It's remarkable how babies instinctively combine multiple signals to communicate needs. A baby who arches their back while fussing and looking at their caregiver may be signaling a need for a burp, a diaper change, or simply closeness. Observing the context and responding thoughtfully transforms these signals from frustration into meaningful dialogue. Hunger cues extend far beyond crying. Babies may root instinctively, turning their head toward anything that brushes their cheek. This rooting reflex is an ancient and powerful signal, one that shows up long before the first obvious cry of hunger. Additionally, babies may make sucking motions, lightly nibble on hands, or become more alert and focused when they're ready to eat. Recognizing these signals and responding promptly helps establish trust and supports healthy feeding routines. Interestingly, hunger cues are often overlooked because they can be subtle or mistaken for playfulness. Yet understanding them ensures that babies are fed before distress escalates, preventing unnecessary crying and fostering a sense of security that lasts well into later childhood. Finally, there's the most profound cue of all, the need for connection and closeness. Babies communicate their desire for comfort and human presence through leaning, snuggling, eye contact, and even gentle vocalizations. Sometimes, a fuzzy baby simply needs to feel held, to experience the warmth, rhythm, and heartbeat of a caregiver. These moments of connection are vital for emotional development, fostering trust, security, and attachment. Some studies suggest that responsive caregiving during these moments shapes brain development, stress regulation, and social-emotional skills. When a baby reaches out, it's more than just a physical need, it's an emotional request, a silent appeal for understanding, and a gesture that can strengthen the parent-child bond in ways that words alone could never achieve. The language of babies is extraordinary. It's subtle, complex, and endlessly fascinating. Every twitch, glance, sound, and gesture carries meaning, waiting for us to tune in, observe, and respond. The beauty of this silent conversation is that it teaches patience, empathy, and attention, qualities that deepen not only our relationship with our child, but also our understanding of human connection itself. Imagine the world from your baby's perspective, where every movement is significant, every sound purposeful, and every gaze a bridge to connection. When we learn to read these secret cues, we don't just meet needs, we honor them. We create a dialogue built on trust, understanding, and love. And in those small, quiet moments, when the baby relaxes in your arms, coos softly, or meets your gaze with wide, trusting eyes, we discover something remarkable, that the most profound conversations sometimes happen without a single word. So take a moment to watch, to listen, and to observe. The messages are all there, waiting for your attention. And each time you respond thoughtfully, each time you interpret these secret cues correctly, you're not just caring for your baby, you're learning one of life's most extraordinary languages. If you found this exploration of baby communication insightful, consider liking the video. Subscribe to the channel to continue uncovering more ways to understand the world through observation and connection. Share your experiences in the comments. What subtle cues have you noticed from the little ones in your life? We'd love to hear your stories and build a community of caregivers who are learning, observing, and connecting together.